Okay guys, so let's get the party started. Before we are going to start, remember that this video is not financial advice, and of course if you are new, consider subscribing to the channel. Now guys, this is something that's uploaded by Mr. Jax, so big shout out. He says that he doesn't believe and he doesn't think that Kaspa is even in disbelief yet, and most people probably have their scaling wrong. Kaspa between $1 to $2 is a realistic target to have. So guys, let's have a look what he has drawn. Okay, could this potentially be the case, right? I mean, if we are going to look at this thing, this price action basically that resembles Kaspa perfectly, right? And according to well, Wall Street cheat sheet that I'm pretty sure you have seen probably thousands of times, that potentially could be the disbelief, right? Not even the shakeout that Bitcoin has been experiencing around here, roughly optimism slash belief phase, which also is going to coincide with the fact that obviously altcoins are lagging behind BTC, right? Ethereum haven't even seen its previous all-time highs. Heck, it haven't even, reached its previous all-time highs, right? So guys, I think we still have a lot of time with Kaspa, and according to Mr. Jax, this potentially can happen to Kaspa. Let's say $2. I believe that this is very reasonable price target for Kaspa, and of course it can be much more, guys. So I believe that there is still time for Kaspa to pump and other altcoins as well, right? Because what you are seeing is obviously just a recovery from that recent, flashy that we have experienced, right? I believe it was around 1.5 billion liquidations, flashed. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but on hourly, obviously things are, don't really matter that much. Anyways, guys, now let's go to bullish news for Kaspa. So Kaspa.com domain has been sold for $100,000 a couple of days ago, and something big is brewing at Kaspa. Guys, I don't have any further details of who purchased this, at least at the moment, right? But this could be something really big, right? Probably the third-party company that's taken off the domain, potentially even KII. Obviously I don't want to spread any kind of FUD because I don't know, but obviously in this case it wouldn't really be a FUD. That would be a good thing, right? Because KII, the industrial estate, they are trying to push the narrative of Kaspa further. And why do they need that Kaspa.com? Well, good question, guys. I think that this is bullish for the future of Kaspa. Bullish news is that today Vancouver passes motion to become a Bitcoin-friendly city. We have affordability challenges, and I truly believe that Bitcoin could be something that can solve our challenges, both financial and affordably, Mayor Cam Sim said during a December 11 meeting. So guys, this is definitely bullish that countries and states and cities, whatever, are basically degening into Bitcoin because new flow of the capital is going to pour into BTC. So this is the first cycle where Bitcoin basically is experiencing that institutional adoption, and of course certain altcoins as well, not mentioning about Kaspa and Grayscale, right? So guys, this potentially could be a huge thing. And now speaking about Bitcoin, these them advertisements. Speaking about Bitcoin, 11th of December, yesterday we saw 223 million of positive inflows, and let's actually quickly have a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum saw 102 million of inflows, right? So basically from the standpoint of ETFs, we still see accumulation. That's definitely a bullish thing. And now guys, before we are going to get into my trading view, I would like to share something that Mr. Prof is sharing, right? This is BTC's dominance on a 3-weekly chart. So he basically says that the last time we saw a 3-weekly bearish cross in the BTC dominance, the alt season started in 2017 and 2020-2021. And he doesn't know if people out there realize it, but so many more gains are coming. We are in altcoin season that happens every few years. So guys, that's definitely evident, right? This bearish cross on a 3-weekly, which is obviously definitely much more macro outlook for negative percentage action for BTC's dominance. That's definitely bullish for altcoins. And another chart is that Mr. Titan of Crypto is showing that Bitcoin is going to reach 111,000 in a very short-term future. He's saying that the descending broadening wedge, which you can see in the left top corner of this photo, pattern he shared a few weeks ago played out perfectly, with BTC hitting the intermediate target of $95,000. And the next up, the 200% Fibonacci extension level at 111,000 USD, which definitely is not out of the question, right? So what is going to happen, right? Probably altcoins are going to pump with it as well, as the dominance is falling. That's definitely a great thing. However, longer time price prediction for BTC is basically around 220, potentially even 300 or 400, just like he marked in here, right? Bear in mind that this is not happening yet, right? These dotted lines are obviously the projection of how MACD can go, right? So guys, we still have a lot of money to print basically this cycle. And now looking at Kaspa's dashboard, Kaspa is sitting at 4.3 billion USD. However, if it comes to ranking, well, that's definitely not bullish, I'm not going to lie. Kaspa is currently being outperformed by different projects, right? The volume is at 263 mil, which is not bad, and we are sitting at 88.2% mined. Guys, things are going to change in foreseeable future for Kaspa, I believe, and that's going to be big. But anyways, let's go to trading view right now and let's have a look at Kaspa's chart. All right, let's have a look at short term. So guys, let's have a look at 4 hourly for our beloved Kaspa, and let's see what is going on. Okay, so Kaspa obviously saw this deviation towards the downside, but obviously there was the overall market, right? We saw a dip, and now Kaspa reclaimed this level of the bullish trend that I'm basically mentioning about ever since you know, November, let's say. So this is definitely bullish for Kaspa. Now the question is Kaspa going to get rejected from level 17.9 cents, which would be another 4% up? And then if rejection is going to happen, well, then probably retest of this level as a support. But obviously that's just me looking at the chart, right? We also have to look at, you know, a couple of momentum indicators. So let's have a look at stochastic RSI. And well, on 4 hourly, stochastic RSI is basically on the top, right? Which doesn't necessarily show a great thing. Now looking at the volume, guys, we still do have some, you know, significant volume coming up on 4 hourly, but let's have a look at daily time frame now and let's see what's going on, right? So looking at this current daily volume for Kaspa, we can compare it to, let's say, volume in here, okay? And after that we basically saw a huge spikes, okay? So looking at the volume, things are looking good for Kaspa, also considering the fact that we've got stochastic RSI that's, well, most likely going to go towards the upside on a daily time frame. Okay, let's have a look at MACD, right? Let's monitor MACD on a weekly for Kaspa, because this really doesn't matter that much. On a weekly time frame, Kaspa is still bullish on MACD, and looks like this trend doesn't really want to stop, which is definitely a great thing. Now guys, let's have a look at CoinGlass and let's have a look at the data from CoinGlass. Still, we are in extreme greed, right? So that recent pullback didn't really shake out that many people, but you know, that's alright, I guess, right? In bull cycles, we can stay in this level for a while. Now guys, let's have a look at the liquidity for BTC first, and then we are going to look at our beloved Kaspa, right? So Binance 12 hourly for BTC. What I see as a first thing, we could expect a volatility between 99,000, well, basically 100k, and we've got liquidity at 102,000 USD, right? So now guys, if I'm going to switch it back to weekly time frame, we can clearly see one thing, that still liquidity is in this level. Okay, so I do believe that Bitcoin is going to see, you know, the push towards the upside in coming days. Now, where our Kaspa is, right? Let's have a look. So Binance, they've got the biggest liquidity. So you see guys, what is the difference, right, between BTC's liquidity and Kaspa's liquidity? I believe firstly BTC will have to experience its full-blown cycle, then Ethereum, and then obviously large caps, and I would consider Kaspa to actually be large cap, maybe not as large as, let's say, XRP and things that like Solana. Anyways, let's have a look at the short time frame for our beloved Kaspa. So as we speak, what I believe is going to happen for Kaspa, probably grab of the liquidity of 17 cents 4. So Kaspa probably is going to see this price action, and then on 12 hourly, probably a quick dip to 16 cents 7, and then potentially even grabbing liquidity at levels of 16 cents 4, not mentioning about some quick wicks towards the downside to shake out more people. Let's have a look at 48 hours for our beloved Kaspa. So guys, from the standpoint of next 2 days, based on liquidity on its own on Binance, we can assume that Kaspa is going to go to levels of 16 cents 1. Let's actually have a look at TradingView, and let's see on 4 hourly where 16 cents 1 is going to lead our beloved Kaspa. Okay, so 16 cents 1. That will be roughly 6 or 7%, right? And we can see that we've got some levels of support in here roughly, okay? Well, not mentioning about this one that I have drawn in here. However, we can see the quick wick just like we saw in here, okay? So expect that volatility, guys. All right, price most likely is going to go a little bit higher, and then chiching, and then probably this, right? Of course, I don't know, guys, but that's going to be very, very short-lived anyways. Now guys, let's have a look at very important charts, right? Because we saw BTC's dominance on 3-weekly time frame, but now we have to look at smaller time frame, okay? So what I like is the fact that BTC basically, well, roughly is getting rejected from this orange line, which belongs to this overall formation of rising wedge, okay? And now potentially we could consider this as a bearish retest. Stochastic RSI is showing us this, okay? We've got level of resistance at 56.4%, and hopefully that's going to be a bearish retest and then dump, right? So let's see how things are going to roll. Let's actually zoom it out to daily time frame. So this is what I was talking about, testing this level as a resistance, right? And then getting rejected. Now on a daily, things are looking a little bit different because the dominance, at least from the standpoint of stochastic RSI, is just about to collapse, right? So that's definitely a bullish thing. However, the MACD is, well, in bullish momentum, right? Well, let's have a look at the weekly time frame, guys. So weekly time frame basically is showing us such thing, okay? So even if we are going to see, let's say, sideways price action for altcoins an hour below Kaspa, of course, I believe that's going to be short-lived anyways, because if I'm going to zoom this, you know, Bitcoin's dominance out, referring to the previous chart that I have shown to you made by Mr. El Crypto Prof, we can see that we have a lot of potential. And now, guys, USDT dominance, which is a very important chart to follow. Guys, excuse me, these drawings, okay? Sometimes I do, you know, very quick analysis, but let me just delete all of this. So guys, what's happening on a daily currently? We can technically consider this as some kind of formation of, you know, head and shoulders, right? So we've got our left shoulder, we've got head, and potentially we could see another spike towards the upside right now. Considering the fact that stochastic RSI is basically at the bottom, it can potentially create that little spike and altcoins can go a little bit sideways. Nonetheless, it could potentially print you know, formation of head and shoulders. So we could potentially dip towards this level of 360, and we have a couple of confirmations. Let me actually zoom it out to the weekly time frame. We've got some confirmations of previous support and resistance in this area. So what I see, to be honest with you guys, is that we are going to see the next leg up for BTC and altcoins quite soon. Guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this quick update, and I also hope that you have been picking up this dip or shakeout a couple of days ago. Now, thank you very much, and as always, guys, peace and love crypto.